Hello there, folks, and welcome to the stream. My name is Mike D'Angelo, aka That Tellest Guy, and we are going to be looking at the second basement in Becka Tigress's her set that she gave us. We did some work on Monday on the first basement, and that was pretty easy to kind of maintain and tweak and stuff like that. There is something a little bit I won't say it. Well, yeah, it's a little out of place. Most of our maps are fantasy maps, and in this case, we've got something that's a little more sci-fi, and we need to try and figure out, what to do with that in mind. We might just, get rid of any sci-fi assets and call that an alternate or something like that people can use. But I do want to try and see if there's something that I can do leading up to it. I don't know if I will be able to. But I want to at least give the old college try. So we're going to try and see what we can do about. I feel like the big problem with these plant beds is the little light that's going across, and then these wires and everything over here. It's a little too sci-fi. There's a couple things down here that look a little bit more steampunk, and I feel like they kind of fit the mode, and we might be able to tweak what we have in this room with that in mind. But if I can do something here first, half of what we do is just trying to see if we can make magic work, and if we can't, that's fine. It's not the worst thing to try and fail. It just means that you tried. And I'm just noticing now, even if we do get that light, there's still a decent amount of space under here too. Like there's glow, and I don't know that we're gonna be able to fix it, but we'll try and see what we can do. Definitely going to have to arrange these a little bit better as I go, but we'll see first. I don't think it's gonna matter, to be perfectly honest, because I don't know if I'm going to be able to put anything on top of there that's going to look right. Let's try and see. So we're on layer 1 now. In theory, if I put something on layer 2, I feel like that needs to be rotated and randomized. Yeah, not entirely in love with it. Let's do this. Well, actually, I'll tell you what. Let's see. Can we revert it? Let's go back to the initial state, and let's go into our handy dandy fantasy battle maps, and let's go down to our wizard set, because I think the wizard set is the one that has some. Yeah, here we go. We've got some alchemist machinery down here. I think we already have one of those over here. Yes. So let's do something a little bit different here. Let us take this big shape that we have here. That's a brick wall. So what do we have here? What is going on here? I feel like that is a shape, right? It has to be. Okay, so that is a shape. Why don't you tell me easily what you are? That's such a pain. Now! Kind of! Alright, what we're gonna do throw that in there. And let's give it a slightly more, I guess, stony kind of look. Let's change the scale to 30. And let's change the hue to make it blue. Get rid of that guy. We probably need to make it a little bit bigger. Let's try 50. And then what we're going to do is grab this guy down here. Change the scale of that a bit. Let's see if we can't change the hue of this one to look a little bit different too. Let's grab the shape one more time and we'll see if we can do a fill as well. So let's throw some kind of dirt looking thing in there. That does not look bad at all. All right, so then what we're gonna do is grab some plants. See if we can't find something that cool that we like. Let's grab the regular forest plant. I'll throw that down to 30. And maybe we'll make it bigger. So, excuse me. Let's try something a little bit different here. Oop, I'm missing one. Okay, so we got that. Let's cut that one out. Let's see if we can't tweak this a little bit further with a different blend mode and see what we get. Oh, you know what? I got it. I wonder, can I paste it in place? No, I cannot. But what I can do is just move it right over top. And then let's go back down to our screen and we're going to mess with the opacity a little bit. That's fine. And let's do, honestly, this is going to be real easy. Except I stole a carnivorous plant I didn't need. Throw this one right here. Get rid of that guy. And okay, perfect. So the idea is going to be we grab all of those again and we change this hue so that we get more of a red kind of. Oop. We'll do just these guys for now. Oop, that's the dirt. I don't want to do the dirt. I want to do the wall. Let's move back to our little alchemy thing and see if we can't change that to look a little bit more. There we go. Perfect. And where is our top layer? Just verify that is the ghosty one. So let's try and change this one to look at dodge maybe. And let's check with the opacity. Did I not? Oh, I changed back to screen. Okay, and let's get rid of that. That looks a little too sci-fi for what we're trying to do. I have a different idea for what we can do here. I think those two are okay. This one might have to go too. I feel like that one is the only one that's still kind of out of place. So we'll see what we can do about tweaking that to look more fantasy style. Let's try and get something different. Let's go back in here and see if we can get stuff from like the jungle. Change the stamp scale, and the idea will be that it's summoning things from... Oh, you know what? I wonder if it makes more sense. Yeah, you know what? We'll try and find like a dirt kind of pattern for each of these rooms depending on what we're using. So since this is jungle and we're looking for dirt, we'll use the wet mud again, but here we'll just use it as a texture for the fill. So something like that. Oh, it would help if I was using the foreground. Let's change one thing about that though. Let's change the texture scale to 30. And I wonder if we make these kind of like, well, let's change the opacity to 30 to start, and we'll make it like it's almost like it's terraforming these bits and pieces. Make that one the most apparent since that one is kind of coming together. All right, so we've got that. We'll make this one desert. Let's do the orange sand. Oh, you know what? I did notice just something though. That needs to be tweaked a little bit. Should be okay. Again with the texture scale. Oh, that might be why that one looks a little weird. Let's go back in. No, it should be fine. Okay, and then let's go to plants one more time. And now we need to throw some desert plants in there. Let's change the stamp scale. And I don't want them all to be that size, so we'll change that. And same thing we did up there. Start with 30 or so. And then jump some of these up a little bit. Okay, and then last but not least, let's do, we're going to go back into the fill texture. Oh, wait a minute. Do I need the fill texture? Yeah, that's fine. I keep forgetting forgetting that they change things a little bit. Let's do the Fey dirt. We'll just do Fey plants. I was gonna say we'll do some water stuff, but I feel like this makes life a little bit easier for us. Ooh, don't forget to change the texture. And let's scooch that to the side a little bit. And let's grab our fairy forest, and 30 seems to be good for this one. Simple, easy, and peasy. Okay, this one again, we'll make that the brightest. All right. So we've got our things up here, our things over here. I'm not really going to make this one of our points of interest just because we've got something up above, but here, 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 and then perhaps down here. Now we did say that we needed to tweak this down here, so let's see what we can do. Let's change it to something like this. It's a little bit more in line with what we're trying to do. Oops. Let's just shape it this way and make it a little bit bigger. Let's just throw a bunch of little, oop, yeah. Let's grab our carnivorous planties. But the trick here is we're going to make them extra tiny. One more for good luck. All right, so that is going to be currently our main version of this map, and we'll make the other one an alternate. A sci-fi alternate. So let's go back in there real quick. Okay, and let's do a clone. Unfurnish this. So we'll take out a couple of things. So we'll take these guys out. Let's take out the lights too. I'll take out the summoning circles. Doors are okay, I think. the sake of this, let's take out everything that's down here too. Oh, gotta get rid of these poor guys. All right, let's do a save. Do another save, but as a clone. Rats. Now I gotta find. Oops. I don't think it's that one. Hello there, DM Argonaut. So this is actually not one of my maps. It's a partner of mine who gave us like a greenhouse basement, and I am doing a variant, well, a couple of variants, because we post on Tuesdays and Thursdays typically, and I am just looking to try and get ahead of next week because we have a busy weekend. We're going to be vending at a Comic-Con. So I'm just trying to kind of get some of these variants underway so it's less work that I have to do next week. I just have to figure out which... There we go. Let's do a snap to grid. Now! 30 should be my happy number, I think. Oh, thank you for the follow, Saitama. Alrighty, and then we gotta do, I think that's pretty close. It's close enough where I don't think most people would notice if there was anything missing. Let's do... Hello there. Let's do... We've got some of these dungeon editions. Let's try a little bit of this. Put the opacity down a little bit, and then it'll help it blend a little bit. I feel like that's a little too muddy looking. Ah, you know what? It looks like she kind of used the same stuff down here. That smudgy look. I will definitely hydrate. Thank you. It is incarnate. Hey, starting on your own world is a very important first step. I don't think that you need to work on a battle map or anything until you feel comfortable with the kind of world that you're making. Go back to this real quick and we'll do another couple smudges. And I ought to make it a little bit more blended. And let's see if we can't find anything else that kind of looks the part too. There are definitely a lot of free maps on Google. You are absolutely right. There's so many of these things that I haven't touched yet. you've got a good way of doing things. I think that's absolutely something that I would recommend too, is getting inspiration from somewhere else and then seeing what you can do with that inspiration. The Mossy Rocks and then the Dungeon Editions. Yeah, I guess it was just really the Mossy Rocks that kind of gave us what we were looking for. I don't know what the pale stuff was. Let's change the saturation a little bit. It's very true. I like to have a little bit of like ability to do something like kind of like the way that DM Argonaut kind of mentioned. Like you have your own world, so you might want to have like little tweaks here and there. Um, we, I mean, we're making maps not just for ourselves, but to sell them as well. So it helps to be able to make something that speaks to you and might speak to other people as well. Okay, so let's do a save here. We're going to do another variant that's another twist on the unfurnished thing that we're doing here. We're going to get rid of the biome rooms as well, and we'll just have a completely empty like dungeon basement. So DM Argonaut says, I've been running D&D games for over 20 years, found Incarnate about 2 years ago, and have been building my world up since. Plan to run my first game once I finish my current game. COS Revamped. I'm not familiar with COS Revamped. Let me do some research. Oh, that's very cool. I did not know that it was Curse of Strahd. We actually just did, the same artist who did this map gave us a 8 map series that's like a vampire manor, and I kind of had Strahd in mind at the time when we developed that, so I think that's really cool. Okay, gotta get rid of these biomes too. So Thomas says I normally use Dungeon Draft. I've heard good things about Dungeon Draft, but I had already been involved in Incarnate for probably the same reason that Argonaut looked at it. I needed something for like continental maps. I was paying somebody to do the maps for me, but things were changing so quickly in my world that it just made more sense for me to be able to make adjustments if I needed to. Okay. Oh, I don't need snap to grid anymore. All right. I think I probably got rid of something I didn't need to, so let's check that out real quick. Oh no, maybe I didn't. Maybe it just was never there. I don't know if it was something that Becka missed. You'll notice that these guys down here have these little marble windows. So we'll put those there so that we have some consistency. I might need to go through and change that in a couple of the other maps. Dungeon Alchemist, is that the one that's that uses the AI? You like tell it what you need and it kind of develops it for you? So I feel like my brother has used that, and we like it as like a inspiration builder, but it's so drastically different from the maps that we have in Incarnate. It just didn't feel like it was the right fit at the time. we have something like, oop, I got the opacity all wrong. We have something like 200 maps that we've made in Incarnate between us and our partners, and it just didn't feel right at the time to do it that way. But again, I think using it for inspiration is really great. It'll help you like kind of build and get like a concept of height and room shapes and sizes and stuff like that. Incarnate does have a free version. It's not a monthly subscription necessarily. Like you can do, there's the free version of Incarnate, and then there's also a monthly or yearly, and I think it's ridiculously cheap. I think it's something like $30 for the year. And the free one does give you a decent amount of basics that you can play with. But obviously it makes more sense if you have a little bit of a bigger amount of stuff to work with. Okay, we'll use these guys real quick. Kind of smudge things up again. Yep. That's good. A little bit of that in here just to kind of tweak the way it looks. And we'll do the opposite down here so it's not the same style in each one of those rooms. Using the wrong style there. Although, that's not a bad idea. Where is our cracked ground? Just gives it a little bit more character here and there. Okay. Pretty simple for a nice, completely unfurnished. Oh, you know what I just realized though? I think I just saved over the flower bed one. Yeah. Drat. Let's do... I don't know if I'm going to be able to get this if I do the clone, but we'll see. Luckily, none of it's exactly hard to fix. Perfect. think I'm going to have 2 no plant beds, but one of them is going to be an ugly mess. So I'll just have to delete that one. Ah, that's not what I wanted to do. Thanks for the follow, Argonaut. Getting closer and closer to that 70 followers that I need to unlock some cool stuff with the tabletop game that we do online. All right, so that one can go because I don't need this one. Okay, and that should disappear in a second. There we go. So let's see what we've got. We've got the no plant beds, the no biomes at all. Just getting rid of the quote-unquote human element. All that stuff is gone. And then we have the original with the sci-fi stuff. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll do one more. Just with a filter. We have some gloom and doom. And we'll do some corruption as well. It'll get there eventually. I'll tell you what. We'll real quick look at the preview for the QQ stuff because we do have those things coming up. To do some really cool things. One of them is inviting you to play our tabletop dungeon diving game, Quantum Quest. Using our channel points, called Quest Coins, you can queue up for one of our forthcoming Tabletop Thursday games. In addition, as we amass more followers, we'll continue to add new ways for you to use your Quest Coins. Join us and see if you can escape the living dungeon. Okay. Got this back loaded. Let's do the filters one more time. We've already got some gloom and doom, so let's throw that in there. And let's actually, if we can, no, of course it wouldn't. Let's get rid of the cool and warm. We'll leave the vignette, and we'll add corrupted essence. I think we did this for floor or the first basement too. We'll add a little bit of a night filter too. I wonder if we do the kind of like gloomy lights that we had before too. There we go. I feel like that's pretty moody. Okay, I think that gives us our 5 variants, so that's looking pretty good. And while that's saving, let's go to our show closing page. We'll be back. I'm doing a convention over the weekend, so we should be back on Monday, but there's a chance that we'll be a little bit too tired to do a Talking Tellest. It really depends on how everything goes. Hopefully it goes well, but we'll see how next week starts off for us. Well, let's go into... folks, on the screen right now, you should see all the places that you can find Tellest out on the internet. Tellest.com is a great first place to start because it'll bring you to all the other projects that we're working on. We have a couple of map-specific websites that you can check out for us. Patreon.com/Tellest is where you can go to find all of our maps. I think we have something like 185 of them, something around that level now, with at least 8 new ones coming every month. There's free versions of each of the maps. They're low res, and they have a watermark, but if you want, you can get maps at the $5 level, which give you the high res gridded and gridless versions, or for $10 you get all the variants like the ones that we've been working on here. We've also got we're on like a little bit of a hiatus with Tellest.etsy.com, but we did find a new print partner for the physical maps that we're trying to bring back, so you can check that out. And Rihanna's got some cool stuff on there for her handcrafted goodies. Battlemapfantasy.com is the place that you want to go for a la carte digital versions of our maps. Because of like bundles and stuff like that, we're actually above 200 items on there. And over the weekend and next week, we're also going to be running a pretty significant sale for like 80% off, maybe 75. I can't remember what I said it at, to help us while we're doing the physical stuff at the convention over the weekend. We've also got 2 TikTok channels that you can check out. TikTok.com/@WeirdWitchWands is where you can find all the goodies that Rihanna works on, primarily the wands, of course, but she's also been doing a lot of side stuff for the convention as well. Things like mimic chests, hobbit doors, little gnome witches, and stuff like that. Very cool stuff. We've also got TikTok.com/@TalesOfTellest if you want to see the doggy content that we have. And then we've got 2 video channels for you to check out. YouTube.com/@WorldOfTellest is where you can see all the videos that we work on, even the ones that get knocked off of Twitch after the 1 month timeline or whatever it is. But twitch.tv/ThatTellest guy is the only place that you can come check us out live, get your quest coins, and tell me what to do with those quest coins. Get me to hydrate, get some stuff going for the QQ live games that we're going to start, I think, the week after the fair in 2 weeks. So we're going to try and get back to doing that every other week, and we'll see what happens. But that's going to wrap us up for tonight. Like I said, we're going to hopefully be back on Monday, depending on how much the convention wears us out. But in any case, thank you all for joining us, and we'll see you next time. But until then, I'll miss you.